Hi Pam, this is a collection of ideas that I will include in the How Much Should I Charge masterclass. The price of anything is the amount of life that you exchange for it. This is a quote by Henry David Thoreau. Hi, my name is Clara Noble and my mission is to empower women entrepreneurs to boost their self-worth so that they can live their dreams, create financial freedom and communicate powerfully. I believe in today's age, women are uniquely equipped to take an important role in a society where emotional intelligence is increasingly important. In the United States, women now achieve more college and graduate degrees than men do, make up for half of the workforce, and are closing the gap in middle management. However, 54 years after the United States has passed the Equal Pay Act, women in the US still face a substantial gender wage gap. And across the spectrum, a woman earns on average 79 cents for every dollar a man earns. And the Institute for Women's Policy Research estimates that a pay parity will not be reached until 2059. The world is moving in a female direction, but there is still a lot of work to be done. We haven't claimed our rightful place in the corporate boardrooms or have made enough of an impact with women-owned businesses. One of the reasons for that is our lack of confidence in our abilities and on our self-worth. In studies of business school students done by Linda Babcock, a professor of economics at Carnegie Mellon University, she was the author of Women Don't Ask, she observed that men initiate salary negotiations 4 times as often as women do. And that even when women did start the negotiation, they would ask for 30% less money than men do. Finally, according to data from the Economic Policy Institute, in some industries, women-owned businesses are only making 25 cents for every dollar their male counterparts earn. This is what makes the topic of today's masterclass so important, especially for women. I don't know about you, but I don't want to wait until 2059. I believe that it's up to us to invest in learning and teaching women to make more money and manage money better. And this masterclass is aligned with that mission, since pricing is such an important piece in the success of any business. Your pricing is more of a strategic decision than just a financial one. Sure, it impacts your profitability and your cash flow, but it stems from your positioning and your confidence, which determine how you are perceived by your clients and potential clients. The biggest reason women feel uncomfortable about setting or raising their fees is because they don't have the confidence. This is so important because pricing isn't just mechanics. There's also a mindset and an emotional aspect to it that must be congruent with who you are and what you believe about yourself in the moment. And that is an issue that you need to address frequently in your business. I would say quarterly. You can ask yourself now, am I charging enough? And you must write down whatever comes up for you, what you think and what you feel about it, and just sit in that space for a while. If you want, stop the recording and do that. Am I charging enough? Answer that question. It's not as complicated as it seems, especially before you figure out the answer. We all have money beliefs and money blocks that we have inherited from our family, our school, our community, our religion. Most of them we are not even aware of, but they do influence everything we do, since the money touches almost every aspect of our business and our personal lives. I have my share of limiting beliefs and thoughts as well, but I have learned to acknowledge them and to master them, and I have done the same for many women, consultants, coaches, healers, service professionals, and small business owners who are now flourishing in their businesses and building the life they dreamt of. First, let me address the elephant in the room, the six-figure myth. For years, I've seen it as the top objective in our industry, in the expert industry, for most professionals. Years ago, and for quite a while, I was suffering from comparing myself or my income with that six-figure mark. And I was feeling like it was an uphill struggle that would never end. Do not compare the outside of others to your inside. What do I mean by this? One thing is what you think you see. And as I got to know more of the so-called six or seven-figure experts, I realized that a lot of them were struggling financially because they hadn't mastered the mindset piece. I know a guy who made $8 million in his first big sales year, but he spent $8.5 million and he went bankrupt. It is not about the money you make, but about the money you keep. This is a write-a-downer. I'll say it again. It's not about the money you make, but about the money you keep. This is not to say that you shouldn't worry about your revenue, only that it's only one of the elements of a great business. You could argue that it's the most important, and I would agree with a caveat. You see, if you don't have paying clients and a reasonable revenue, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. But if you spend $10,000, say in Facebook ads, to get $5,000 in sales, you don't have a business either. Sorry about that. I feel very strongly about the numbers side of the business because my background is finance. And so, for those that are new to me, I will give you just a quick introduction about myself. When I started coaching in 2010, after a 2-year certification, I had 20 years career as an auditor, consultant, and CFO for big international companies under my belt. When the big corporation I worked for shut down, I decided that coaching was a better tool than consulting to help small business women, because I was helping the business owners find their solutions based on their knowledge of the market and their values, instead of doing what was easy for me, which would be to go in there and tell them what to do. However, since in small businesses, the line between the business values and the owner's values is so slim as the line that separates their personal lives from their business, I ended up just sucked into dealing with divorce issues, the loss of partners or parents, and other aspects of life coaching which I was fully trained but not confident to charge for. After all, they were going through such pain, and I really needed to be there for them. Can you relate to this? I was comfortable with charge-out rates in big consulting companies, working for corporations, but with me charging small business owners for services that had no clear boundaries between what was business and what was not, I didn't feel comfortable at all. Plus, with only 3 years experience in life coaching, which wasn't even my thing, how could I charge what I thought was the right fees? They were going through such a lot and they weren't implementing all that I was helping them in the business. Consequently, they weren't getting the ROI I knew they could get. And that was both exhausting and frustrating for me. I was totally discounting the help I was giving them as a person and a life coach, and feeling their lack of implementation as a personal defeat. I felt I was failing them. If you had met me during those painful months, you would probably have tried to help me. You'd even probably have undercharged, and you'd probably have felt equally frustrated for not having seen any significant results unless that was your thing. It took me a while and a lot of soul searching to realize that, one, a coach is just that, a coach. No magic wand to make personal problems go away and get back to work. And two, that I needed to adjust my positioning, my services, my offer, and my pricing so that I stopped attracting these clients who totally drain me and drain my energy, did not take advantage of what I can do best, which is to help them tap into their unique genius and build a thriving business that brings them the fulfillment they long for and the freedom to live the life of their dreams. Now, I wake up every morning full of energy and enthusiasm because I am helping heart-centered entrepreneurs make fabulous money doing what they love by transforming their relationship with money and communicating better so that they can have a spiritually and financially rich business. To be continued.